Gee, this work sure isn't rewarding, pounding these rocks all day at the quarry. Well, it's a living, I guess. Time to take a little nap. Flintstone, are you taking a nap again? Outrageous. Get back to work. Oh, sorry, Mr. Slate, I was just inspecting the ground. Ha ha ha, you know me. Ah, gee, so boring. Oh, man, if only I was working with someone else on this job. Hey, there's my old pal Barney Rubble. Hey, Bon, get over here. Well, gee, Fred, how's it going? You're still working on today's work? I finished a long time ago. It was pretty easy. Well, Bon, they give me the tougher jobs, you see, because I've been working here longer. Well, that's right, Fred. Is there anything I can do to help you? Actually, Bon, there is. Mr. Slate gave me a report on all the minerals. I'm supposed to talk about what minerals are and how the rock cycle takes place. Can you help me with that, Bon? I don't know where to start. Well, gee, Fred, I'd be happy to help you. Those are some pretty difficult questions. You'd think we would know that, working with rocks all day, but, hey, this is the high-level management stuff, right? You said it, Bon. Let's get out of here and do this report. Sounds good, Fred, and I've got an idea where we can start. Where's that, Bon? At Betty's house. Betty's house? I thought you paid the mortgage. No, Fred, well, actually, Betty, she takes care of things, she's from a very well-off family, you see? Ah, Bon, you sure know how to pick 'em. We should be getting close soon, Bon. Ah, yes. There we go. The house is getting closer. Yeah, there we go. Getting closer to the old house. Hey, Betty, are you home? Maybe she's busy listening to her Rockman. Bon, what's a Rockman? A Rockman is a device where you put it in your ears and it plays lots of music. Ah, the Rockman. That sounds fantastic. Hey there, boys. It's me, Betty Rubble. Well, gee, Betty, you usually don't have to introduce yourself with your last name. Well, you know me, Fred. Barney, you never said that Fred would be coming over. Well, sorry, Betty, for the late warning, but we were wondering if you could help us, if you could give us some tips about rocks and minerals. What do you want to know, boys? Well, Betty, we were wondering what exactly is a mineral? Well, I'm glad you asked. Take a look at my necklace right here. Yes. You see, a mineral is a naturally occurring substance, and it's formed of crystals. And so a crystal has got flat edges and is naturally formed, and it's created by evaporating water and increased pressure. Pressure? You mean like my high blood pressure? I've been eating a lot of fat brontosaurus steaks lately. Well, usually not the pressure inside someone's body, but the pressure of intense layers of earth compacting on each other. Well, that sounds like a very different kind of pressure. I wouldn't want to be under that kind of pressure. I don't think old Dr. Granite could help me with that one. You said it, Fred. You said it. So, Betty, what are there different kinds of minerals, or are they all the same? What's the difference? Well, Barney, there are many different ways that you can tell the difference between a mineral. But to tell you the truth, I haven't the foggiest idea of what some of those ways are. You know, my wife Wilma, I saw her reading a tablet the other day, which was all about how to tell minerals apart. And I said, you better mind your minerals, Wilma. Ha ha ha. Oh, gee, Fred, you sure come up with some clever things. But I guess when everything in life is a rock-related pun, it's no surprise that you have them ready on the go. You said it, Bon. Let's head over to see Wilma. I'll talk to you later there, Betty. Bye, boys. You keep safe. Okay, I think they're just next door. That's right, we live next door to each other, don't we? That's right, Fred. I'm surprised you don't remember that. It's like you have early onset amnesia. Gee, Bon, I'm going to have to take another visit to Dr. Granite. Of course you will. Hey, Wilma! Wilma, are you home? Are you home, Wilma, my dear?
Gee, Fred, your house looks exactly like my house.
That's right, the developers all made the same kind of complex. I don't hear Wilma. Oh no, oh no! It's Dino! Dino, what you doing, boy? Dino usually knocks me over, but he's not doing it today. It's very strange.
Gee, Fred, maybe you'd better take him to the vet.
That's right, Barney. Dr. Shale. He would know what to do. But you know what? Dr. Shale has not been the same since the accident. He's just been a shale of his former self.
Oh, gee, Fred, that's great that you can make jokes about people's terrible mental state.
Now, Dino, I'm going to have to put you in the doghouse because this is ridiculous. Barney's our friend. Well, that takes care of that. Hey, oh, here's Wilma now. But gee, Fred. Hi, Barney. You're home early. Well, Wilma, we're not exactly home quite yet. We're actually on assignment. We were hoping that you could tell us the ways that you can tell between different minerals.
Well, Fred, one way you can do that is by looking at the color. If it's a golden color, it might be gold.
Well, gee, Wilma, we came all the way here just for that. I hope we got some brontosaurus steaks on the table, because that was not very valuable information.
Gee, Fred, you sure are rude to your wife.
Barney, this is the Stone Age. Of course I am. Now, Fred, you're going to be going to Hungary if you keep acting like that. I'm sorry, Wilma. I just haven't been myself ever since I got a rock cut at work.
But now, Fred, color is no surefire indicator. You can have several substances that are gold, like pyrite, for example. So you have to use some other characteristics. For example, you can look at the luster. Are they shiny? True gold will shine more than pyrite. You can look also at the streak. You can actually scrape the rock against something else, the rock or the mineral.
Wait a second, Wilma. A rock. What's the difference between a rock and a mineral?
Well, gee, Fred, I think I know this one. Can I try Wilma?
You sure can, Barney dear.
Well, Fred, a rock is made up of different minerals, but a mineral is a pure substance.
That's very good, Barney. So, Wilma, so we can tell a mineral by its color and by its streak, how it rubs off against something else? Any other ways?
That's right, Fred. There are other ways. Another way is how the mineral will fracture, how it will break. And now some minerals will break through fracturing, where they'll have a crystal, a big chunk, such as quartz. And other minerals, such as mica, will have cleavage. And so a thin strip will come off of the mineral.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And I don't dare to ask, is there another way? There's got to be another way. Wilma, please, dear, please. I'll do anything.
Well, Fred, there is another way. Also the hardness. You can tell how hard a material is, even if they look very similar. And so, for example, talc. Talc is a very, very soft rock. And we have diamond, though, is the hardest. So you could tell the difference between them.
Well, Wilma, thank you very much for these differences between all the minerals. I'll see you later, sweetie.
Give me a kiss for good luck, Fred.
Oh, Barney got in the way. Barney, give us some privacy here.
Oh, sorry, Fred. Mwah. Okay, Fred, we better get going.
Well, Barney, what else was there for us to do?
Well, Fred, we talked about some of the characteristics of minerals, but now we've got to talk about rocks and the rock cycle.
Gosh, Barney, like rock cycling when we reuse rocks? Like when I take my empty drink cans and bring them back to the store?
Gee, Fred, not that. No, that's recycling. We're going to talk about how rocks become other kinds of rocks.
Well, gee, Barney, I think I'd rather be buried underneath an avalanche of rocks than have to do a report about that.
Well, gee, Fred, we're going to lose our jobs if you don't get this report done, remember?
Oh, that's right, Barney. And unfortunately, they don't have, unemployment insurance in the Stone Age. Oh, gee, well, we don't have democracy either, so we can't vote for change.
Okay, Fred, but Fred, I know just a place where we can find out about the rock cycle firsthand. Let's go to the beach.
Okay, Bon, I'm always up for a trip to the beach. Ah, you can hear those seagulls, Bon. Look at that beautiful beach.
Take a look, Fred. You can see in the beach, underneath the sand, layers.
Layers of what, Bon? Layers of despair?
No, Fred. These are layers of sand, layers of dirt that have accumulated from the years, and they are forming sedimentary rock. Sediment is refers to layers of debris that all compacts together. These layers push down on each other to form a type of rock. See, look, I got one on the ground right here.
Gee, Bon, be careful what you pick up on the beach.
This is a piece of limestone. So limestone, Fred, is pretty much made from the skeletal remains of sea creatures. Isn't that amazing?
I guess it is, Bon. Does that mean one day we might end up being a sedimentary rock?
It sure does, Fred. It's something we can all look forward to. Unless, of course, we're buried in lava, in which case we would be igneous rock.
Well, gee, Bon, that sounds tragic. Anywhere where we know where some lava is?
Well, Fred, I heard that there's a volcano that's just about to erupt near Big Rock City just this afternoon. If we get over there, we won't miss it.
Well, Bon, that sounds fantastic, but if you knew that the volcano was going to go off, why didn't you warn those people?
Well, gee, Fred, I had to go to work, right? Man's got a job to do. You can't be taking care of everyone's business.
Oh, that's right, Bon. Well said again. Let's head off to Big Rock City to watch the fireworks. Can I keep this limestone?
Well, gee, Fred, I'd actually like to keep it myself if you don't mind. Bam Bam was asking for one all day.
How do you know that? Doesn't Bam Bam just say Bam Bam all day?
Gee, Fred, you need to learn to understand. You need to speak his language. A child is a special, precious thing.
Okay, Bon, let's get to Big Rock City.
So, Fred...
Bon, sorry, you're gonna have to speak up. I can't hear you over the screams of all those people being buried in lava.
Okay, Fred. Well, igneous rock is made from molten lava or magma.
Well, Bon, what's the difference between lava and magma?
Well, Fred, lava is outside of the volcano, magma is inside. And so when this lava or magma hardens, it becomes igneous rock. And so igneous rock is different depending on whether it's lava or magma, Fred. And so if it's outside, if it's lava, it is extrusive. And if it's inside, it's intrusive.
Well, gee, Bon, I just see it as rock. How can you tell what kind it was?
Well, Fred, if it's outside of the volcano, it'll cool very quickly. So it will be like glass. Hey, look, here's a piece of obsidian. Yeah, obsidian, it's very shiny like glass.
Well, gee, Bon, this sure is hard to tell what this is. If only there were some kind of real picture of it I could see.
Well, gee, Fred, I guess one day if someone invents a PowerPoint and puts it on an online format for students to view, they could see a picture of what it actually looks like.
Well, gee, Bon, if only we were so lucky.
So, Fred, because this obsidian is outside, it cools very quickly. It gets very glass-like. But for igneous rock that's intrusive, that's underneath the surface, it takes a longer time to cool because it's still got that heat of the volcano. And thus, it will have more crystals. Time for crystals to form.
Ah, Bon, that's fascinating. You mind if I hold on to that obsidian? I'd like to give it to Pebbles.
Well, gee, I'm really sorry, Fred, but I'm actually having my grandfather come over tomorrow, and he's never seen obsidian before.
Bon, that's remarkable. Your grandfather is even alive. The average life expectancy is 20 years old.
Well, thanks, Fred. I'll be sure to pass on your congratulations. But Fred,
Yes, Bon?
there's one more type of rock we haven't looked at.
Aw, gee, Bon, you know I can only count to 2. What is it?
It's metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock is when sedimentary or igneous rock, or even another kind of metamorphic rock, undergoes intense heat or pressure.
Well, gee, Bon, wasn't there a lot of heat and pressure there? In the lava and the magma?
Well, good question, Fred. Now, this is not quite as intense as melting that rock, but it's the heat and pressure over many years will eventually cause the structure of the rock to change. Take a look here at this limestone.
Bon, this isn't limestone. This looks different. This looks so smooth. It's not rough at all.
That's right, Fred, because this limestone has metamorphosized into marble. That's right, the layers and layers of soil and other limestone on top of it have caused it to change its structure. But one of the amazing things is that marble will have color and streaks based on whatever chemicals and whatever creatures were in it. You will still see traces of different colors in that marble from its limestone past.
Bon, that's remarkable. So there were 3 kinds of rocks, right? Let me see if I get them. We had sedimentary, which are layers of dirt and dead things, all that compact together.
That's right, Fred.
There's igneous rock, which is volcanic, molten lava or magma which hardens, Bon.
That's right, Fred.
And thirdly, metamorphic rock, which undergoes intense heat and pressure, and then will become a different kind of rock.
That's right, Fred. And speaking of which, the rock shale, the igneous rock shale, turns into slate, a metamorphic rock under intense heat and pressure.
Ah, just like Mr. Slate, our boss. We'll have to tell him that. Well, Bon, I finished the report. Speaking of which, let's bring it to Mr. Slate, shall we?
Well, okay, Fred. I'll hold on to it there.
Okay, let's get back to work before he wonders where we are. Hey, Mr. Slate.
Yes, Fred? Where have you been all day?
Well, Mr. Slate, I was with Barney. We were putting together the report that you wanted about different rocks and minerals.
Let's see, Fred. Where's that report?
Oh, well, Barney hasn't. Barney, where did Barney go?
Fred, did Barney get hurt in a workplace accident again? You know I can't pay for workers' compensation.
No, Mr. Slate, I swear we'll find him.
Fred, you have 1 day to find him, or you're fired.
Okay, Mr. Slate, I'm on it. Where could Barney be? You know, I need someone's help. I need Dino's help. Dino is kind of like a canine-like creature. Oh, Dino, come here, boy. Oh, no. Dino, get off me, Dino, boy. I need some help. Can you find Barney? Okay, lead the way, boy.
Gee, Fred. Fred, which Dino? Dino, what you doing here?
Dino, get off Barney. Don't attack him. Dino, off, boy. Barney, where did you go? I was trying to get that report in for you. And I was going to hand in the report to Mr. Slate, Barney, and I looked like a fool. I didn't have it.
Well, gee, Fred. I had to give the report to someone else who needed it even more.
Barney, what are you talking about? Who's that man over there?
My name is Vladimir Putin, the President of the Russian Federation.
Barney, what are you doing giving our report to the Russians?
Your friend Barney is not who you think he is. He is not Barney Rubble.
What's this going on? What's this talk, Barney? This can't be.
No, your friend is... Well, Fred, I'm Barney Rubble. I'm actually a Russian spy this whole time. And now, thanks to our hard work, the Russian people will forever have The greatest mastery of rocks and minerals. Isn't that Fred? Great, Fred? Well, Bon, good thing I got Dino here. Dino boy, sick 'em. There we go. If you like reports on rocks and minerals so much, you'll enjoy pounding the rocks in prison. Ah, there we go. That takes care of that. So, we've looked at the properties of minerals, we've looked at the rock cycle. It's time for me to be heading to the Royal Order of the Water Buffalo for some good old-fashioned bowling and a brontosaurus steak. Until next time, yabba dabba doo.